Administrator Green likes to paraphrase your fellow Senator John McCain when he asks our agency, "The world is on fire. What are we going to do about it?" At USAID, we strive to put out those fires. Unfortunately, right now, Yemen is the single largest humanitarian crisis in the world, and we're working hard to put the fires out there, along with our interagency colleagues, other donors, and our partners on the ground. The humanitarian crisis in Yemen is man-made. The current conflict has been ongoing for more than 3 years. Violence between the Houthis and the Yemeni government, both backed by military support from regional powers, has devolved into a civil war among multiple factions. Meanwhile, more than 75% of the country, or more than 22 million people, need humanitarian assistance. To put that in perspective, that's more than the combined populations of Tennessee, New Jersey, and Indiana. For nearly 4 years, Yemen has wavered on the edge of famine. 17.8 million Yemenis are food insecure, including more than 460,000 children who are severely malnourished. Food that does make it inside is prohibitively expensive, and as over half the population is unemployed, this dramatically affects what basics people can afford, basics such as food and water. Many Yemenis must resort to increasingly severe coping mechanisms, such as child marriage, just to get by. This food crisis is made worse by the fact that Yemen is currently facing the world's largest cholera outbreak, with more than 1 million suspected cases due to contaminated drinking water, unsafe hygiene practices, a lack of sanitation services, and a crippled healthcare system. The conflict has also led to the collapse of the economy, which was already one of the poorest in the region. The government hasn't been able to regularly fund the operating budgets of key ministries, like the Ministry of Health, degrading basic services like medical care, sanitation, and education. In the face of these needs, the United States continues to mount a robust humanitarian response, working with our partners to reach millions with life-saving aid. Over the last 6 months, our partner, WFP, has reached an average of 7 million people each month with emergency food assistance. We also worked to deliver 4 US-funded cranes to the port of Hodeidah, which was badly damaged by the conflict. USAID is supporting medical services to people in need. We're also providing hygiene kits, safe drinking water, and improved access to sanitation services to fight malnutrition and stave off disease. For children especially, the toll of conflict can have lasting effects. Our mobile protection teams provide treatment to children throughout the country. USAID is also providing technical assistance to the Central Bank of Yemen to help restore basic functionality of core services. We're also rehabilitating water systems, getting children back to school, and providing school supplies. In addition, the US coordinates closely with other donors, including the United Kingdom, the European Union, and we particularly welcome the recent pledges from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait of more than $1 billion towards the humanitarian response in Yemen. Despite our best efforts, access remains a major challenge in Yemen. To reach people in need, relief workers must navigate active conflict zones, checkpoints, bureaucratic impediments, and heavily damaged infrastructure. The vast majority of goods come through Yemen's ports, so their operations are critical for both humanitarian and commercial goods. We continue to call on all parties in the conflict to allow free and unfettered access for humanitarian goods into and throughout Yemen in order to save lives and reduce suffering. While the United States remains committed to relieving the suffering of the Yemeni people, humanitarian alone cannot solve this conflict. This will only come through a comprehensive political agreement. We look forward to a day when there's a lasting political solution in Yemen that will allow the fighting to end and enable the country to develop its own path to self-reliance. Addressing the complex crisis in Yemen requires all of our government's tools: humanitarian assistance and the 3 Ds of development, diplomacy, and defense.